Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is August and this is Cozy Rosy Reads. I'm so excited for today's video because I'm taking you all on a field trip, a quest, an adventure where we are going to explore and I'm going to share where I find my used, cheap books. I'm so jazzed for this video. I'm so excited to share it with you all. So a huge thank you to one of my subscribers for actually recommending this type of video. I so appreciate it. I'm so happy you're interested in seeing where I purchase used books, or I find free books, or I find really inexpensive brand new books. So if you're new to this channel, this is something that I'm very passionate about. Majority of my books are all thrifted, and I just have so much fun finding unique books, taking my time, making it a scavenger hunt, a treasure hunt, and the books then become like such a big part of the story. For me personally, it's just like the best feeling in the world to find a book that needs a new home, that needs to be loved, that someone has loved a lot previously, like finding books with annotations and finding them in like dusty, musty corners of thrift stores or anything like that. Like I just have so much fun with it, and then it becomes a really big part of my attachment to that book. There's an emotional connection because of the way that I found it. I just want to share that experience with you all and share where I personally find books and hopefully inspire you or educate you on places that you can be looking for used and very inexpensive books. So I will be traveling around my city and checking out some very popular kind of nationwide thrift stores, a local thrift consignment shop, as well as little free libraries and Dollar Tree. I hope wherever you are, you're doing really well. I so appreciate you all being here. I'm so excited for this video in particular. So let's go ahead, hit the road, and check out some awesome places. Okay, so sometimes you're just gonna find a lot of weird books that might not be your thing. Oh my gosh, we have Maria of Maria von Trapp. So there's just a lot of stuff like that where like normally you wouldn't pick this up, but it's really interesting. So I think it's a great place to find books that you normally wouldn't pick up. I'm like looking for these smaller books. A Raisin in the Sun. Not only a pioneering work by an African-American playwright, Lorraine Hansberry's play was also a radically new representation of Black life, resolutely authentic. I have never heard of this play in my entire life, but that sounds like a great... Ooh, and it's annotated. I like that. Ooh, this is a yes. So you just gotta kind of like really, that was like hidden in here. You just really gotta like play with it and find stuff. Okay, we have a book that I see all the time on Libby, Furiously Happy. That's in really good condition as well. I wouldn't read this physically. This is a really good find. I'd probably listen to it. I like listening to like comedic essays, so I probably won't, but I'll leave this like, because that's a really nice copy. Shut up. No way. This is a yes. Oh, this is such a good find. Oh my gosh, it's huge. Yeah, that's coming home with me. Yes. Okay, so those are the two books that I found on these shelves, but we still have all of this to go. This is why I love this. You find weird things. Turtle on a Fence Post, Volume 2, but what do I know? This is huge. What does he know? Jazz Fest brings him downtown. Maybe he's like a journalist? Compilation of weekly essays I've written over the last 7 years that tell stories of what has happened around me during those times. That's so awesome. You wrote a book. Way to go. I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh, wow. This is beautiful. Oh, I wish I could read it. Oh, this is so stunning. I wish I could read this. It's by a white dude? Ooh, that sounds interesting. Sex, dissidence, and damnation, minority groups in the Middle Ages. This sounds interesting, but I probably won't ever read it. Like, it would be something on my shelves and I'm like, oh, I definitely want to learn more about it, but then I don't. Kabuki dancer. A novel of the woman who founded Kabuki. Ooh! Sawako Ariyoshi. Wow. I was about to give up on this section. Story of Okuni, the legendary temple dancer who first performed among jugglers and freak shows on a stage along the riverbank in the heart of the imperial city of Kyoto. Yes, this is a yes. No, I didn't even look really in the actual, like, kind of kids section. Okay. Ooh, a memoir of the Cultural Revolution. Yes, by Jiang. Shut up! I'm finding. Oh, I'm so glad I came over here. A deeply moving story should be on the shelf of every person's library. Courage in the face of adversity, your steadfast loyalty and love for her family are truly inspirational. This sounds like a great, like, yeah, thing. Oh, nice. Wow, that was so successful! So I'll share the books that I found. So the first book that we had was the Collected Poems of Sylvia Plath. I am so excited for this. This is an old high school library copy. It is very big. I honestly didn't know she had this many poems. There's so many. I read, oh, it's really dusty. Ooh. Ooh. I am really excited to dig into Sylvia Plath's poetry. Then we have Kabuki Dancer by Sawako Ariyoshi. Gosh, it's a paperback, but it has a dust. I've never seen that before. A paperback with a dust jacket. This is another dusty one. It smells so bad. Oh my god. Oh. What's wrong with this book? It has like asbestos in it. So this is a book that is a novel of the woman who founded Kabuki. This is translated from Japanese by James R. Brandon. Another book we got is Red Scarf Girl, a memoir of the Cultural Revolution by Jiang. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I looked this up on Goodreads and wow, so many people have read this and I've never heard of it. It looks like it's for a young reader. It's from Scholastic. The last book that I got, which was the first that I picked up, was A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry, which is a play. I know nothing about this at all. I've never even heard of it. Those are the wonderful books that I just picked up at Goodwill. It took a little bit of scouring, but I ended up finding some really amazing things. I really hope that you all are able to take a peek and really step out and find things. Like, I just go there with no intention whatsoever. Like, I don't have a set, like, oh, I'm looking for a thriller, because then I end up never finding them. It's like just going with an open mind and like looking at each title. And I mean, honestly, from a lot of these spines, it was pretty easy to like never look at them again. Just don't look at the spines, just try and look at actual books. I guess that's the biggest takeaway, is like, yeah, these spines don't really look that intriguing, but then you pull them. Yeah, just all of these things. So I'm really excited. I love that I found some diverse books. It's really rare for me to be able to find diverse books at these Goodwills. I hope this outing was fun. It was really successful for me. I am so excited about these books, and I'm excited to keep showing you some fun places to find books. Oh my gosh, the craziest thing just happened. So I was looking back at my videos and I saw a book when I picked up another one that I think I just got distracted and didn't look on the rest of the shelves. But I paused the video, I saw a book on there that I was like, I am intrigued. I just did some Googling and I'm gonna go back in the store. It's raining now. I'm gonna go back in the store and pick it up. And like, this is why I love doing this so much, is because even though I was there for so long, I still ended up missing a book. So I'm gonna go in and grab it, and I'm really excited about this one. Okay, let's go. Okay, I am officially that weirdo who watched my videos before I left the parking lot to double check. Diary of a Pigeon Watcher by Doris Schwerin. This is an old book, It has a lot of crinkled pages here. This is an autobiographical, like, memoir thing of this woman, Doris, and she amuses herself by watching pigeons nested on the ledge outside her New York City apartment. She names them the Smiths and keeps a diary as she watches them survive a cold winter, raise squabs, fight off marauders. Recovering from breast cancer surgery, she identifies with the pigeons who rekindle in her memories of her own family origins and ties. With unusual honesty, courage, and sensitivity, the author articulates her strongest emotions, including her fear of death and her need for love. I will check in with you all again soon. I just took a little bit of a road trip to a consignment shop that I've never been to before. My friend actually messaged me and was like, hey, if you're looking for inexpensive books, there's a consignment shop in a town that's, 25 minutes out from me, who does 50-cent books. So we're gonna go check it out. I love going to consignment shops, especially local ones, and seeing what their books are like, because typically they're like anywhere from 25 cents to like 75 cents. Really inexpensive. So if you have thrift shops, consignment shops, places where people actually donate goods, definitely go check it out. I've never been here before. I'm so excited. This place is like a barn. It's huge. So let's go check it out. Uh-oh, friends. That was a very interesting experience because there were a ton of books. It looked like there were a lot of books. And then once I started looking at them when I was filming, I was like, oh, none of these are standing out. I don't think I'm gonna find anything. So once I did my like triple lap around, I found really cool books that I'm so excited about. The first book that I found and picked up was The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. I am so excited about it because, oh my gosh, when was it? Several years ago now, I read Tar Baby by Toni Morrison, and I loved it. Since then, I've been wanting to get my hands on another Toni Morrison, so I'm really happy I found this. 50 cents. I'm feeling incredibly lucky. I'm so excited to read this one. This next book that I found is so rad. I have never heard of this book before. I'm so excited to read it. I want to pick this up really soon, and that is The Truth About Awiti by C.P. Patrick. This is a historical fantasy novel that talks about the spirits of the transatlantic slave trade. Their spirits are like become storms and weather, and they haunt the transatlantic area. So you follow this one girl, Awiti, after she was taken as a slave in the mid-15th century Africa, and it follows to 21st century New Orleans. In this historical fantasy that will leave you questioning the impact of the transatlantic slave trade on the physical and spiritual realms. For centuries, her sadness, Awiti's sadness, raged within the winds and rain, resulting in tropical storms that devastated the South. This is so cool. I've never heard of this. It sounds so incredible. I read the first page. I already really love the writing style. This is so cool. I'm so excited to read this one. Like, I cannot express how geeked out I am about reading this one. So excited. I'm so glad. This is why, again, like I said in the last segment of going to Goodwill, like, don't just do like a once over and look, like, really dig in there, really look at the spines, really read the titles. Like, it's just so easy to miss these books. I think I went around like 3 times. So there's that. The next book that I found is very old, very well loved, and that is Reindeer Moon by Elizabeth Marshall Thomas. I have never heard of this book either, but I love this cover so much. I'm obsessed with this. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Those deer that had those crazy antlers that were from prehistoric times. I one night went on this like terrifying rabbit hole Googling and watching like PBS documentaries and Nat Geo documentaries and the History Channel documentaries all online about this one deer. So once I saw this, I was like, shut up. Like, they scare me so much because they're massive. Not only are their antlers massive, but like compared to a human, these things are huge. And like, I love mammoths. Like, woolly mammoths are like, oh my God, they scare me so much, but they're so cool. There's something about prehistoric mammals that freak me out, but I love it. I am on a roll. Anyway, this follows our female heroine. We have this really cool map in here. Our heroine, Yanan, who lived 20,000 years ago in Siberia. So it talks about this prehistoric Siberian tribe, but it talks about their hunters and gatherers. It talks about the cold of living in Siberia. It talks about life and death and what it's like to live in this tribe. But it does say that it has quite a lot of like magical realism kind of things, like ancient magic or ancient stuffs, but it doesn't seem fully like a fantasy novel. Like, it definitely just seems like it's a very historical with maybe hints of magical realism. We shall see. But I am so excited about this book. This next book, I'm really happy I found a copy of it, because it was a book that I read in December, I believe. It was one of my most anticipated reads of like almost all time. I was so excited to finally read it. And then when I read it, I was wholly disappointed. I was mad. I was complaining about it to my partner. I was like, what is this? Like, I'm so mad. It was not what I thought it would be and what it was like marketed to me as. And that is Perfume by Patrick Süskind. The concept of this book is incredible. Like, it sounds so perfect for me and what I love. It's weird. It's great. It basically follows this man in the 18th century in Paris who's born with this incredible sense of smell. But he himself does not have a scent, but he can smell everything and anything. And he becomes attracted to the smell of young women, young girls, and so he kills them in order to attain their scent. And then he works with a perfume maker, and he's like making perfumes of like dead bodies, and like weird things happen in this book. But like, I think I was so deeply disappointed with like the actual story, because it wasn't as thrilling, it wasn't beautifully written as I wanted it to be. Like, I was really just disappointed. But what it ended up feeling for me was like this genuine sense of boredom. I didn't feel connected to the story, I didn't feel connected to the characters, but I always wanted a copy of this book, and this one was sitting there looking so pristine and beautiful, and I was like, you know what, this would not be bad to have and to reread in like 5-10 years. Not anytime soon, but now that I know the book is way different than how I anticipated it, I put a lot of expectation on it, I wanted to love it so much, but now that I've read it already once, I think I could go into it with a broader sense of understanding what the book really is, and instead of hating it, really just take the time to, I don't know, look at it through a different lens. Someone just kind of came up right next to me and I was like, ah, taken aback. I wonder what people think when they see me recording, because I'm obviously not FaceTiming somebody. I'm just talking to my... There's a dog right next to me who's just staring at me. It was like, this last book, I didn't even open it. I was just so excited about it, and I grabbed it and I checked out. So I haven't even looked at it. Let's look at it together. I'm so excited for this one. It's so beautiful. It is Norwegian Folktales. It's in English, so it's translated, and we have these... Oh my god. Here are the stories we have in here. None of these, just on first glance, look familiar to me at all. Let me know if you've read any of these. I'd be so curious. The Boys Who Met the Trolls in the Heddle Woods, The Seventh Father of the House,
The Parson and the Sexton, White Bear King Valamon, The Fox and the Shepherd, Caper Tom Who Made the Princess Laugh, Little Freddie and His Fiddle, Soraya Mariah Castle, The House Mouse and the Country Mouse, The Princess Who Always Had to Have the Last Word, The Ash Lad Who Had an Eating Match with the Troll,
Butterball. I don't know why that's funny. Butterball.
The Mill That Grinds at the Bottom of the Sea, The Old Woman Against the Stream, The Ram and the Pig Who Went to the Woods to Live by Themselves, same, Squire Purr,
The Ash Lad Who Made the Princess Say, "You're a liar." Good Day, Fellow. Axe Handle. The Hare Who Had Been Married, and Gudbrand of the Hillside. Okay, that was a lot. I've not read fairy tales and folklore from any other country, I don't think. I mean, I didn't even really grow up on fairy tales or folklore, like other than like I had a big book of like Mother Goose, but I never read fairy tales. But something I've been really interested in, especially from around the world. I think it's interesting. This cover is stunning. We have like this princess on like a polar bear. I have so many books now on my TBR shelves. I don't even have room for all of these anymore. So cool. I cannot express how cool they are. Thank you so much for joining for this segment of consignment store shopping. I wanted to show the difference between doing a Goodwill. It was like a nationwide thing, and it's actually a for-profit corporation. And then I wanted to do a difference between like then the charity shops, which then are they're still the same, where people donate goods, but charity shops like this one, they are all donated and gathered and given to one institution. So it's a local place. You're basically supporting the local institution in your community. So I just wanted to share the difference between the two. I think either way, I found really awesome books at places. I'm so glad I went to this little shop in particular. It was a lot of fun. Okay, friends, this next portion of this video is going to be checking out little free libraries. I'm not sure if this is a like North America specific thing. I know they have it in the US and in Canada, but there is a website called littlefreelibrary.org where you can see where people have put up little free libraries in their area. Some of these are on personal, like private property, like people's houses, or some, like the one I'm at right now, is actually at a community fire department. So I would definitely recommend checking out that website. They're wonderful little boxes, book boxes, where if you take a book and then you can leave a book. I am a ding-a-ling because I had a whole stack of books that I was ready to bring, and then I forgot to pack them with me. So please, when you're out going to a little free library, if you just stumble upon one, like go ahead, you can take books and stuff, but if you're able to, just drop off a book as well. I think that's really important. Keep it going, you know, all that fun stuff. So let's check out this one. I'm really excited. Let's see what they have. It looks like they have a lot of books. So let's go check it out. All right, this is the little free library. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's start at the top here. Ellis Island, Brass Ring, The Rule of Four, Hot Rod. Oh my gosh, that's such a cool cover. Stories of hot rodding. Ooh, Meet Me in Atlantis. What? My obsessive quest to find the sunken city. That sounds so cool. Oh yeah, this sounds really cool. It's like traveling, actually trying to find Atlantis. I have a nonfiction book about Atlantis because I don't know much about it. This looks, yep, this coming with me. All right, what else do we have here? The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. Romantic romp. That sounds kind of fun. Born and bred to be a gentleman, finest boarding school in England. Grand tour of Europe. His quest for a life filled with pleasure and vice is in danger. It sounds really like a fun time. It looks kind of like YA. Oh yes. Sometimes you just need a book that's like fun, but it's got a historical element. I don't know what this is, but we're gonna. I feel so bad I'm taking some books, but I don't have any books to replace it. I'll come back later. Okay, what do we have down here? Sidetracked, The Way of the Dog, Dry, Augustine Burroughs. I read this one. Ooh, we got Cowboy Christmas, The Riverside Reader. It doesn't have a cover anymore. Let's keep you up here. You look pretty damaged. Dogs of Edland Farm, Tinsel. Okay, cool. I think we got it. That is awesome. Wow, these were such cool finds with gorgeous covers, might I add. It's nice to have a few like more modern books. I feel like a lot of the books that I find are usually a little bit older, but these are modern books that I've never heard of. And honestly, they just sound, this one especially just sounds like so fun. Like this is the kind of book that I want to pick up right about now during my reading, where it's like I've read so many literary fictions that are beautiful, but they're really sad, really like dense, and not dense and like they're easy to read, but sometimes the content just gets really like, oh, I'm sad, how much more can I take? So it just sounds like a really fun book. I'm gonna check out one more little free library that's in this area. It's only like 2-minute drive from here. I've never been in this area before, so it's kind of fun looking around. It's like farmland, but like really big, expensive houses. So let's check out one more, and then I think we'll traverse on over to another spot that I have in mind for you, where we're gonna find cheap, brand new books. Wow, I am in a gorgeous, quiet neighborhood. I've never been over here before, but now I want to live over here. It's quiet. There's these beautiful trees. This one actually came up on Google. This one is called the Log Cabin Little Free Library, or Little Free Log Cabin. The house it's attached to is so gorgeous. It is literally a log cabin. Look at this. It's beautiful. Wow. No way. We have some good ones in here. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I need to come back. Hi. I've been wanting to read this one. And it's large print, which I love. Oh yeah. And then we have Little Fires Everywhere, which I've heard is wonderful. I haven't read it yet. I don't really plan on reading it. Not saying it's not good, but it's not really something that I've personally been interested in. But I've heard really wonderful things, so that's here. What is this one? Flash Boys, Wall Street Revolution. River. It's a cool cover. Flesh and Blood by Michael Cunningham. Girl Interrupted. I read this book. I really enjoyed it. The Making of Mrs. Hale. Girl at War. Sarah Novik. You guys hear the birds? Passion, Waiting. National bestseller. I've never heard of this one. Wow. Colson Whitehead. That sounds really interesting, but I probably won't read it. I'm sorry. Okay. What else? We still have a lot over here. We have a mass market paperback. Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac. Oh, this is by the author who wrote Elsewhere. Loved Elsewhere. I probably won't read this one though. I'll leave that for hopefully a teen reader. Yeah, that's what we got. Yes. Large print. Large print. We love large print. Okay, next stop is one of my favorite stores of all time. I can't believe I didn't start shopping at it until I was like in my 20s, because if you are living in the US and you're a college student, you need to save money, but you need essentials like cleaning supplies, food, baking utensils, like literally almost everything. Go to Dollar Tree. And this is where I found some of my favorite books of all time for $1 each, and they're all brand new. With the brand new books though, I would say that their publication dates are usually like 2018 to like, I don't know, like 2013. So like books that were released then. This is where, when I was living in, you know, a really rough time money-wise, I would get my toilet paper here. So you can get like I believe it's a 4-pack for $1. I would get my food here. They have things like bread, coffee grounds. They even have almond milk. They have, like, I still get all of my canned goods here, like canned olives and pickles and like that kind of stuff here. Condiments, literally anything. So if you are looking to stay on a budget, definitely check out Dollar Tree. I'm not sure if they are anywhere else. I don't know if Canada has Dollar Tree, and I'm not sure what it's like in other countries, if there's anything similar to Dollar Tree. In the US, we also have like Family Dollar or Dollar General, and those are not $1 each, but they are discounted. I don't know if they sell books. So this is a really wonderful place to look for books that are in brand new, great condition, have not been used, for really inexpensive. actually have a lot. Let's start digging. So I have really nice copies. Like, this is a beautiful cover. See when it was published. Yeah, 2017. This is Not America by Jordi Punti. There's short stories. So yeah, there's just like a really wide variety of things. The Mayakovsky tapes. I read this one in March. We have some Spanish. This one's here a lot. Heather the Totality. Bethlehem. This is a beautiful cover by Karen Kelly. Quarries cut. Okay, let's move. Glutton's Bay. What? Gluttony Bay. Sunlight Pilgrims. Seance Infernal. It's a pretty cover. It's kind of beat up. Shoot, friends. Okay, so I ended up finding a book at Dollar Tree. I was really geeked out about it because it sounds so cool, and that is The Skill of Our Hands by Stephen Brust and Skylar White. First off, the cover is really cool. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, but this is the kind of sci-fi that would definitely intrigues me. It's about a secret society of 200 people, an unbroken lineage reaching back 40,000 years. They cheat death, share lives and memories, and communicate with one another across nations and time. It seems super cool. So I was in line, I was like, yay, I found a book, that's awesome. And then it wasn't until I was in line that I realized it is the second in a series yet again. So this has happened to me so many freaking times, but if you're looking for stuff at Dollar Tree and you don't want to be surprised, because it literally does not say anything about it being a sequel on the cover or even on the inside that it's the sequel of a book, just look up on Goodreads. It will say on Goodreads, like parentheses next to the title, what number it is in that series. But the first book is called The Incrementalists. I'm so curious about reading that. So I'm gonna hang on to this copy. I didn't put it back. I didn't leave the line. I was like, I'm gonna get it. And then maybe I can find the Incrementalists on Libby or something, or on as like an ebook on my Kindle, so I can read the second one, because the cover literally says Secret Societies, Immortality, Murder Mysteries in Las Vegas, all in one book. I just love this cover so much. I love pink. The color pink is just so delicious to me. So that was my adventure at Dollar Tree. This is a very common occurrence. I think the last like 4 or 5 books that I wanted to pick up and read ended up being from Dollar Tree, and they ended up being sequels to books that I had no idea existed, and they never said on the cover that they were sequels. So be cautious going into that, even though they are brand new books and in really great condition most of the time, but you do get brand new books for $1, which is really nice. Like, if you think about it, like brand new, no one else has read it, no one else has touched it, for $1. That's a really, really good deal. So Umi and I are here to wrap up, discuss what did we learn, share about these books, and the final total. How much all of these books, the 14 books that I found over 2 days, the moment you've all been waiting for, the total accumulation price of these 14 books was $9. $9. $12 for what? This is at least like 3 months worth of reading material. Oh my gosh, I am so incredibly happy with how this like little field trip video went. It was so incredibly successful. I hope it all inspired you to try new places, look at some consignment shops, look at some thrift stores for some wonderfully used books, as well as looking at Dollar Tree, or places that sell brand new products but for significantly cheaper price. Sometimes they have book sections, sometimes they don't. And I also wanted to share some additional resources for you all because I feel like in my personal experience of finding used books, it is definitely not limited to the places that I showed you. A lot of other places I go to are mainly just on whim of like going to library book sales, and that's something that you can usually look up on Facebook or on Google to see when libraries have big book sales, when they're trying to reduce the amount they have, or they accumulate a lot of donations throughout the year, and they usually have like friends of the library book sales. Those are wonderful places because those books are typically anywhere from like 25 cents to $1 each. It's a really wonderful place to look at some wonderful books. Another resource that I highly recommend looking into is if you have Facebook, you can look into Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace I have so far found one book on, but usually you can find used books, and sometimes they even have really, really fun things that I would love to do in the future, but maybe when I don't have such a big TBR, is I have seen on Facebook Marketplace where people just donate a huge box of books and you don't know what's inside of them, and you can purchase the whole box for I think like even like $15 to like $30, buy a whole box, and then you get a box of mystery goodies. Like, that is so rad, so much fun if you are into that kind of stuff. Another wonderful option if you're looking for cheap or used books is definitely check out your local indie bookstores. I know mine in particular has a really, really big used book section, so there's usually really high quality used books. A lot of them are sometimes newer releases as well. So if you're looking for more pristine or in better condition used books, definitely check out a local indie bookstore, see if they have anything for you. Unfortunately, one of my packages did not arrive in time for this video, but I was able to look on thriftbooks.com, which I've heard a lot about, and I was able to order 2 books from there for a grand total of $9. These are books that are in pretty good condition. I think that's what they were labeled as, is like pretty good. And they were each like $3. So that will be my first ever time using thrift books, and then they are shipped to my home. So I'm really curious to see what those look like, how they come. So hopefully one of these vlogs upcoming, that package will arrive and I can show you the goodies and do a little unboxing video. I have never ordered off of thrift books before, but I think it is a wonderful resource to get cheaper, less expensive books while still supporting local indie bookstores, because I do believe that they are sent from local bookstores and then shipped through thrift books. I'm not exactly sure how the process works, but I am really, really excited to share that with you all. Now, don't worry, I will be including all 14 of these books in my next massive book haul, and if you've seen this video already, you might see some repeats, but I'm really, really excited about these books. I've also already started reading one, so stay tuned for this week's vlog that will be coming out, because I'm going to absolutely gush about this book. I am so happy I found it. It is like, I'm only 100 pages in, but it's already a 5-star, so please stay tuned if you want to hear some thoughts about a book that I found in that 50-cent thrift store haul. I believe that's it, my friends. I believe that's all I have to share in this video, but thank you all so much for coming along on this wonderful, fun field trip exploring where we can purchase cheap, used, inexpensive, wonderful books. Just be sure, if you take away anything from this video, keep your eyes open. If you're an avid thrifter, definitely check out the book sections if you've never looked over that way. If you typically thrift clothes or anything like that, or if you use websites like Depop or Facebook Marketplace, like definitely check and see if they have some used books for sale. I think it's a really wonderful way to kind of keep books that deserve a little bit more love in circulation and just kind of almost collect memories. I love associating books with how I found them. It's something that I remember very vividly how I found them, because it's such a unique experience. You feel this rush of like euphoria when you find a book that's just sitting in like a dusty, musty corner. I hope this video inspired you all to go check out some really fun, funky little places for books. Expand your horizons, get excited about used books, get geeked out about the stories within them and the stories story of how you found them. It's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling. And I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this video if you would like to see more in the future, if you would like to see, I don't know, any other type of content like this. I so thank the subscriber who recommended this. I appreciate you so much. This was such a fun video to film, and I hope you all enjoyed it. So thank you again so incredibly much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Stay cozy, my friends. Bye!